Okay. Alright, for exercise 1C, right? Okay, I only want to briefly talk about this idea of numbers. Okay, so I'm looking at page 23, question 13. Okay, I think this whole exercise, alright, 1C actually tells you, alright, what do you understand about your numbers? Okay, I see that number of you actually are still very confused over what is considered a positive integer, negative integer and all that. That's why the elements that you have in your set tends to be different and wrong. Okay, so I just want to clarify what are they. Okay, so integers itself, we have a lot of it. So from negative infinity to negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and all the way. Okay, so it's an infinite list. Okay, so for our integers, we can divide it into positive and negative, and very importantly, okay, 0 itself. Okay, you need to be reminded what is that 0. Okay, is actually not positive, not negative, right? So positive numbers, alright, that will be your 1, 2, 3, and so on. Negative will be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and so on. Okay? Then, alright, what if they say non-negative? Non-negative will mean that positive and 0. So some of you are very confused by the word non-negative, non-positive. Right? When we say non-negative, it will mean positive and 0. Okay, and non-positive will mean 0 and negative. Okay, non-negative does not mean positive, non-positive does not mean negative, right? Because 0 is not positive, not negative, right? So you need to keep in mind about that. So positive and 0, there is also another word, okay, for it. What do you think that is? There's another term to describe the numbers from 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. What is that called? You learned this in primary school. Sorry? Numbers? No. There's a term, more specific term. For 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way. Can't be you all don't know. You all will be shocked by how you all don't know. Whole numbers. Aiyo. Okay, so please remember, positive to 0 is what we call whole numbers. Alright, whole numbers include 0. Positive integers don't include 0. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Is there a term for non-positive? Don't have. Okay. Alright. Okay, so now let's continue with our probability where we talked about independent events the last time round. Okay, so likewise do your corrections, then file it inside your file. Yes. Sorry? The rest of all your answers are different. Exam got answer key for you reply all time. Okay. Now let's look at practice now 9, question 2. This is 2.4. Okay, so it says that Michael has 2 laptops, laptop X and laptop Y. Okay, and then it says that in any 1 year, the probability of laptop X breaking down, that probability itself is 0.1. And for laptop Y to be breaking down, the probability is 0.35. Okay, so this is the question. Let's first look at part I, where we want to find the probability where both laptops break down. Okay, so the probability of both laptops breaking down, how do we go about finding it? Would you think that it is 0.1 plus 0.35 or 0.1 times 0.35? What do you think will be suitable calculation for this question? 0.1 plus 0.35 or 0.1 times 0.35? Okay, let's do a show of hands. Who says that we take laptop X breaking down 0.1 plus 0.35? Okay, who thinks that it will be 0.1 times 0.35? Okay, why do you say that, Alia? Instinct. Okay, sometimes your instinct can be correct. Yes, Joseph? Feels like what? Neither, okay. Oh, I thought neither. Okay, neither, okay. Okay, neither, then what would it be? If it's neither of this, then what would it have been? Huh? Okay, so let's go back to our tree diagram to understand for this context. Okay, how will the tree diagram look like? Alright, so we are looking at laptop X and laptop Y. Alright, they are independent events. They don't relate to one another because your laptop Y breakdown doesn't affect whether laptop X will break down or not. Right? Okay, so if we were to draw a tree diagram, okay, we can consider the first laptop will be laptop X. It doesn't matter whether you choose X first or Y first. Okay, so okay, the two events will be either it break down or doesn't break down. Okay, so if laptop X break down, then we look at laptop Y. So same thing, it either breaks down or does not break down. And then likewise for laptop X, for laptop Y, okay, if laptop X were to not break down, okay, then laptop Y will either break down or does not break down. Okay, so your tree diagram should look like this. Okay, in case you're wondering, why is it that my tree diagram is not this way? Okay, so laptop X break down, and then laptop Y breaks down. Okay, if you draw your tree diagram in this manner, okay, then you fail to actually consider when laptop X does not break down and laptop Y does not break down. Because if you want to continue, how would that look like? Okay, you understand? So having this tree diagram drawn like that, it is not helpful. It does not actually match this situation at all. Right? Because it does not consider when it does not break down. You understand? And especially if you want to put in the probability, these two probabilities does not equals to 1. And that's something that we learned the other time around as well. Whereby the probabilities in the branches for that column, it should always add up to 1. Okay? So this is not the case. So looking at this tree diagram, we fill in the probability. So for laptop X to break down, that will be 0.1. Does not break down will be 1 whole minus 0.1, so 0.9. Okay? Then laptop Y breaking down is 0.35. And does not break down probability will be 0.65. Okay? Then going back to part I, where we want both laptops to break down, that actually suggests that laptop X breaks down, laptop Y breaks down. So we're going along, okay, the flow of the branches. Okay, so therefore it will be 0.1 times 0.35. Okay. So that will give us 0.035, right? Understand? Okay, so in part 2, we want to find the probability where laptop X breaks down, but laptop Y does not break down. So for this event to happen, what would that probability be? What do you think? Oi? How do you get that? Sorry. 0.1 times 0.65. Because we want laptop X breaking down, laptop Y does not break down. So 0.1 times 0.65, you get 0.065. Now, what about part 3? Exactly one of the laptops breaking down. What would that probability be? Chloe, what do you think? Exactly one of the laptops break down. Sorry? 0.1 times 0.65. Hang on. Anything else? Sorry? 0.9 times 0.35. Okay? Can you tell me whether is it, what's the operation here? Plus, minus, times, divide, plus. Okay? So we are going to be looking at laptop X breaking down, then after laptop Y does not break down, and the other case will be laptop X does not break down, and laptop Y breaks down. Okay, so two cases over here, alright, and that would give us 0.38 as our answer. Okay. 8, right? There's a reason why I want to do example 8. Okay. So in work example 8, you're given 7 green marbles and 3 yellow marbles. There is replacement, meaning to say that in the question itself, if you read clearly, you draw one from the back already, then you replace it, then you take again. Okay, so we want to find these probabilities for the given situations. Okay, so we first try to understand how will the tree diagram look like. Okay, so very often question may not ask you to draw a tree diagram, but you may find that a tree diagram is helpful for you to illustrate and understand the question and for you to follow through. Okay, so in this case itself, we are looking at first choice and first pick and second pick. So in the first pick, it's either getting a green or yellow. And then in the second pick, it is also either green or yellow. Okay. The probability of choosing a green at the start is 7 out of 10 since there are 7 greens. And probability of getting a yellow is 3 out of 10 since there are 3 yellows out of a total of 10. Since there is replacement, that means that in my second pick, there will still be 10 marbles left in the bag. Okay, so there will still be 7 green, 3 yellow, 7 green, 3 yellow. Okay? So now in part I, we want to find the probability that the first marble is yellow. What would that probability be? Dylan, what do you think? Sorry? 3 out of 10. Why? Sorry? Okay, because now here is 3 out of 10. But if you can, if you want to think it precise in a more precise manner, okay, we are thinking that the first pick is yellow, second pick is green, or the other case is first pick yellow, second pick is yellow. Okay? If you take 3 over 10 times 7 over 10 plus 3 over 10 times 3 over 10, okay, it will still give you 3 over 10 as the answer. Okay? Because of the idea of factorization. So let me just write that down. Because if you want to factorize out 3 out of 10, this will eventually still be 1. Okay? That's why the answer is 3 over 10. Okay? But I don't need you to go and be bothered by this whole factorization thing. Right? I'm just trying to explain why is it that Dylan has 3 over 10 as the answer. Okay, so long as you consider the correct cases, you will get 3 over 10 as the answer. Okay? Something that I want to bring to your attention is part 2. Okay? Sorry? Part 2. Okay? So you're asking whether part 2 and part 3 is the same. Okay, this is a very valid question. If you look at part 2 and part 3, part 2 is asking second is yellow given first is green. Part 3 is asking first is green, second is yellow. It seems that the combination that we're talking about is exactly the same thing, but the answer is actually different. Okay, let me explain to you why. It is very important for probabilities that you understand the meaning of given. Okay? When you use the word given that, alright, in probability, okay, it's trying to tell you to ignore, okay, the probability of finding the first one to be green. Okay, because you're looking at first one green, second one yellow. We're looking at this case now. When we say given that the first is green, we are asking you to ignore this part. We only want to know what is the probability in the second pick that it is yellow. So in part 2, the answer is 3 over 10. Only, that's it. Okay, so when the question says given that, you ignore whatever that they give you. Okay, given that first is green, you ignore that part. You take that probability from that relevant branch itself. Okay, whereas in contrast, for part 3, we want the first is green and the second is yellow. They want that combination. Okay, that will actually be 7/10 times 3/10. Right, and that will give you 21/100. Sorry, you were saying, Joseph? You don't understand? It is a phrasing, a term that that in probability itself, okay, we always use. Yeah, it is a term that you need to know. Yeah, so just take it that given that it is a kind of special phrasing, alright, that you must understand that you'll be just taking this answer only. Given that means you ignore this one. Alright? So it's just maths. They just decided to use this kind of phrasing, then you just take it as that. Okay? Then in part 4, we want the second one to be yellow. So for the second one to be yellow, it is either first one green, then yellow, or yellow, yellow. Okay, so we got 2 possible cases. 7/10 times 3/10 plus 3/10 times 3/10. That will give you 3/10 as the answer as well. Okay? Any questions? Right, with that, I'd like you to give practice now 8 a try. Are we done? Okay, let's look at the first one. Part I, what would the probability be for you, Emily? What will you get? 7/12. Do we all get that? Okay, so we're looking at the first pen is red, then it will either be red-blue combination or red-red combination. Okay, so you can consider it as 7/12 times 5/12 plus 7/12 times 7/12. Okay, or you can just write 7/12 without the working, it will also be the same. Okay, not an issue for part I. Right? Part 2, probability that the second is blue, given first is blue. Okay, what's the answer? 5/12, alright? Okay, anybody don't agree? 5/12? Right, so part 3, the first pen is blue, second pen is blue also. Okay, what would the probability be? Joshua? 5/12 times 5/12. That will give us 25/144. And in part 4, the probability that the second one is blue. Amanda, what's the answer? 5/12. Okay, and the last one, no blue pen was selected. Okay, Junyang, what do you get? 7/12 times 7/12. You see that? Okay. So we get 49/144. Okay, so if you draw the tree diagram, it will look like this. So first pen, second pen. Okay, blue one is 5/12, 7/12, 5/12, 7/12. Okay, so it will look like this. Right? Any questions? Right, let's move on to what if we have dependent events. Okay, so looking at what examples, yeah? Sorry? How do I get part 2? Okay, so probability at second, what do you think your answer is? What's the answer? Then I can understand what to explain to you. Same as part 3, yeah? Okay, so like I mentioned just now, okay, part 2 and part 3, they mean totally different thing. Okay, part 2, they are asking for the probability that the second pen is blue. Right? So it's like a conditional thing. And this is what we call a conditional probability. They only want the probability that the second one is blue, okay? Given that your knowledge, you know that the first one is blue. Given that the first one is blue. So if the first one is blue, they want to know what is that probability that the second one is going to be blue. Alright? So that's why, okay, they know first one is blue already. Right? So they want you to specifically look at this case where the first one is blue, second one is blue also. But they only want this probability. Okay, so that's the meaning of the question. Alright, for given that. Right? In part 3, they want the probability that you can have that combination, which is first one blue and second one blue. So blue, blue. Alright, so you want this one times this one. Okay, so part 3, they are asking for that particular case. Part 2, they want this size probability with this size knowledge. You understand? Okay, so that is the difference between part 2 and part 3. No, it's not one. You should not say that. Yeah, because that's not the meaning of that's not the meaning of conditional probability. I don't encourage you to think that way. Okay, Berman is saying that we just take part 2 that is times 1. I don't want you to think that way, okay? Because right, if you were to pursue it at your JC level, okay, we are going to use a lot of conditional probability. And if you think this way, I think it will impact your calculations. I don't want you to think that it is times 1 because that is not the way that conditional probability is being done. Yeah. So, although technically, yeah, that's why it doesn't affect the answer lah. Okay. But the objective of doing maths is not just about getting answers, right? Okay. So understand the concept behind it. Okay. So I don't encourage you to think that it is times 1. Huh? But you also don't want to end up going to someone and talk to them, and then then the person know that you have a very big misconception, but then show how stupid you are, right? Huh? Okay, so to explain that you have this misconception. Yeah. So given that, right, it's just asking you to ignore, okay, that particular part. They only want this part. Okay. So if they want any probabilities from here. Okay, because right, if we saw like part I, okay, we want the first pen is red. I can just say, first pen blue, this is the probability. First pen red, this is the probability. I can have a name for this kind of thing. But then what would the name be like if I want these probabilities here only, without having to consider this? So the name will be such that this will be the probability that the second pen is blue, given that the first pen is blue. This one will be second pen is red, given first pen is blue. So there is this name being given to the probabilities over here. Okay? Then there is also another name given when there is this whole probability being multiplied with each other. Yeah, so you can see in that manner as well. Alright? Okay, so now let's move on. Okay, any other questions? Alright, let's move on to work example 10. Okay, so you have 33 students in the class, 21 study geography, 12 study history. No student studies both subjects. So 2 students are picked at random from the class. So we're looking at geography. We have 21 and 12 history. Total 33. Okay, we want to find the probability in part I that the first one studies history. So first history and second geography. Right? It says that there are 33 students, 21 geography, 12 history. Okay, there is going to be a choice of picking 2 students. Okay, so at one go you pick 2 students. When at one go you pick still 2 students, it's as good as you pick one first, then after you pick another one, without replacing. So for example, out of the whole class, I pick Lin Hui first. Okay, then I pick Alia. Okay. So I picked 2 students in total, but when I picked Alia, okay, I did not put Lin Hui back. Okay, you understand? So this is what it means by picking 2 students. Okay, so there is no replacement. Because when I did not put Lin Hui back, it will affect the probability that we're looking at. Okay, for the second pick. So how our tree diagram will look like. Okay, the skeleton itself will look like this. Then to put in the probability. Okay, so we're looking at no replacement. Okay, but at the start, there will still be 33 students in total. Geography, we have 21. History, we have 12. Since there's no replacement, so when I do my second pick, okay, there will be one less student already. So total number of students here will be 32. Okay. Now we have to consider what are the numbers that we put in the numerator. Okay. If my first pick is geography 21, okay, originally 21 students, and my second pick is going to be a geography student as well, how many geography students will I be able to pick from? I pick out one already, how many will I be left? Carissa? 20, right? Okay, what about history? Wait, so how many history students will I be left after I first picked a geography student? Sorry? 12. Okay? So the history students remain the same. Alright? First pick, if I done history, geography students remain the same, so 21. History students will be short of 1, so 12 minus 1, I'll get 11. Okay? So we need to be very careful when we draw a tree diagram when there is no replacement. Right? Now in part I, we want the probability that the first one is history and the second one is geography. So check what would the answer be? 21. 21 out of 88. How do you get 21 out of 88? Sorry, can I speak louder? 12 over 33 times 21 over 32. Okay, so 12 over 33 times 21 over 32, and we get 21 over 88. And then in part 2, we want one that studies history while the other studies geography. Okay, so what would the answer be? Ying, what do you think? 21 out of 33 times 12 out of 32. Alright, very good, thank you. So we're looking at geography, history first, then the other one is history, geography. Okay, because in part 2 they did not specify which one is to come first. So answer is 21 over 44. I'd like you to continue to work on practice now 10, question 1 and 2. I'll give you about 7 minutes. we are done. Can we share answers? Right, let's just figure out the 3 diagrams for each of the 2 questions first. Okay, so in this case over here, I will be having 16 out of a total of 28 and 12 over 28. What would the probabilities be in the given condition for boy and girl? What will we be getting? Jared, what's this going to be? What's the probability? 15 over 27. And the next one? Jared, yes. 12 over 27. And Ling-Hui, what about the next pair? This one will be? Go on first. 15 over 27. You sure? Go first then boy. Then what's the go one? Sorry, this one is 16 over 27. Is it? Okay. And then the next one? 11 over 27. Okay, then let's look at the second tree diagram. Joseph, what do you get in this step here? 8 over 16, 7 over 16, 1 over 16. Okay, then in this next group, Katia, what do you get? 7 over 15. Followed by? 7 over 15. 7 over 15. 1 over 15. 1 over 15. Okay. Then the next set, Shami? 7 over 15. 7 over 15. And 1 over 15, you sure? Blue first. Sorry? This one 6 out of 15. This one 6 out of 15. Sure? Going, you think? 7 over 15, 6 over 15, 1 over 15. 8 out of 15. Right? Because 7, 6 and 1, they don't add up to be 15. Okay, so it should always add up to be 1 whole. But even if you add up to 1 whole, you must also check, because just now earlier on, what Charmaine gave was this set, alright, being repeated. Okay, it will still be 1 whole, 1 whole. Alright, but then the numbers are actually wrong. Okay, and the next set, Sing, what do you think? 8 over 15? 8 over 15? 0? But 8 plus 8 is 16. Cannot be 16 over 15. This is not 1 whole. What's wrong? You only had 7 blue in the beginning. Why do you have 1 more blue at the end? So what should this be? 7 over 15. Okay. So 8 over 15 and 7 over 15. Right, that's right. Okay, so let's go about getting the answers. So in part I, okay, or practice now 10 question 1, we will be getting 16 over 28 times 12 over 27, which is 16 over 63. Part 2, we want, one is boy, the other one is girl, so can be boy first then girl, yeah? Yes, you have to draw. Okay, good question. Alright, for this W, if it's 0, you should still draw. Alright, so as to be consistent with everything. Okay? So one is a boy, second one is a girl. Can be boy, girl first, then girl, boy. So the combination that we're looking at would be this. By the way, I want to urge you, okay, forgot to mention, please write down the working. Don't conveniently press into calculator and then get this. Reason is because this one, in case your answer is wrong, okay, this one can still give you some method mark or something. Okay, there are very often, okay, students actually press wrongly the calculator, then this one answer end up to be wrong, despite here being correct. So it can be a method mark, answer mark thing, right? So don't waste the mark like that. Okay. Then in part 3, okay, at least one of the students is a girl. You can also look at the case whereby 1 minus both boys. Okay, if you don't want to look at the 3 cases itself, so there will be 1 minus away 16 over 28 times 15 over 27. So this is one option of doing. You get 43 over 63. Alternatively, you can take 16 over 28 times 12 over 27 plus 12 over 28 times 60 over 27 plus 12 over 28 times 11 over 27. Okay, that will be fine as well. Alright, I'll just end here today. Question 2, I'll give you the answers the next time round. Okay, I noticed that exercise 2B, I forgot to give you homework the last lesson. So, I'll just write it here. Question 3, 5 and 6. I see you on Wednesday, right? Even if this is odd week. Okay? See you on Wednesday. Alright?